1, 2, 3.
Hello, everyone. This is Kyle Bilal with Poor2Pro Car Sales Training Podcast. Become a sales titan. We are in season 9, episode 8. This is the last episode of the year, and I get to do it with Mr. Matt Henderson, right?
Yep.
And Matt's going to tell us a little bit about himself. Before we start, though, Matt, I just want to say thank you for booking a one-on-one. It means a lot to me, and what's really cool is I like meeting like-minded people that want to go to the next level, people that want to be the best, people that want to dominate their dealership. And I get to sit across, even though we're on the screens, I get to sit across somebody that wants to get to that level. So appreciate you booking one-on-one. Matt, tell us about yourself.
Matt Henderson here, Community Ford Lincoln of Bloomington, Indiana. I was in the third-party logistics industry as a freight broker for 13 years. Here in January, we'll be going into my second year selling cars. Married with one 8-month-old, just turned 8 months. Busy, and just ready to keep kicking butt going into the next year.
Well, that's awesome. It's very nice to meet you. I'm sure the listeners are happy to meet you. And again, thanks for booking the one-on-one. So, Matt, one of the things that you made mention in this your first topic is walkarounds. This is something that a lot of salespeople never master in their entire career. They will literally go 30 years, 40 years in their career sometimes and never master a walkaround, because you can go ask one of your old timers, hey, can we get together? Can you do a walkaround for me? And you'll see them fumble and fidget and try to get through it. And you're like, how long have you been in the car business and you've never mastered it? Is because it takes time. It takes effort to master a walkaround and being compelling enough to where you have an intrigued audience. When you watch a bad movie, how fast can you tell it's a bad movie, Matt?
Pretty quick, usually, yeah.
It doesn't take 30 minutes.
No, yeah.
Like when I put on a movie, if I'm on Tubi, right? Tubi has bad movies, good movies, great movies, middle the road movies, but I know within a minute or two, just by production value, if this movie is going to be good or not.
Oh yeah, I've seen some too. I watch Tubi too. My wife will walk in the room and be like, "What are you watching?"
And you're like, I don't know.
I think we're moving on. Yeah. And the walk around seems to get skipped in that same, it almost gets skipped like to a certain degree. If the customer's awkward with it, you go right. Like, it's kind of weird. It just goes right to getting in the car and it's like, well, hold on. I was getting ready and the door's open. They're like, nope, we're going for a ride. I'm like, and I at least know better to get in the car, but,
and once they sit down, it's hard to get them out and do the walk around.
They're already in a different mindset, and you have to kind of just let them go. Like, I try to, not to go cut you off, but I try to, at that point, it's like, hey, you know what? Let's take your time, get comfortable, make sure your mirrors are all right. Anything you can do to slow them down. And
you're almost backpedaling.
Like, we just missed some of the coolest part of the vehicle,
So,
and they don't do it. They don't do it on purpose either. I don't think. Sometimes.
It's who's in control is important there. But to get back to the Tubi thing, within a few minutes of clicking that movie on Tubi if it's going to be good or not. And so customers are just as smart as we are. They're the viewer. You're the Tubi. So you have to be compelling enough in that first 1 or 2 minutes to get their attention to where they want to follow you around and do a walk around, where they don't want to just sit down. They don't want to just say, hey, can we test drive it? Because they want to bypass the bad movie. And so what I was getting at with you can go test this at your dealership. Pick a guy that's been there 10, 15 years and ask him, hey, I'm trying to get better at walkarounds. Can you do a walkaround for me? And they're going to say no, because they don't want to, because they're not good at it. If you go find somebody that's good at it, they're going to say, yeah, absolutely, Matt, let me help you. And they're going to do this beautiful walk around. Let me open the doors. Let me show you this. Let me show you why our product is better than the competition's. Let me do this. What are you going to be using the vehicle for? Have you been in one of these vehicles before? What are you familiar with them already? Do you know about this vehicle? What kind of research have you done? These key questions control the walk around, but also, like you said, it helps you pick out what the customer actually wants to know.
Yeah.
Questions
And
are your
just
friend there.
yeah, and just worst case, having a couple questions ready to make yeah, those always those fail safe questions to get you out of the gray zone and to stay in a safe space.
Yeah, yeah. Without putting pressure,
Yeah.
being informative enough to give them the information they need, be compelling enough for them to watch you and answer their questions and actually customize it for their needs. So if you're going to get anything out of what we just talked about, write down on a notepad Tubi because
That's what
you'll
I just did. I just wrote Tubi.
okay, that you don't want to be the bad movie. You want to be the good movie.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a good walk around, you have to have a good walk around. Now the real part to the meat of the subject is walk around for what the customer is going to actually use the vehicle for. Okay.
Right.
And that's where questions come in. But before we get to that, I want to maybe write this down too. If you care about the walk around, the customer will care. If you care, they
Okay.
care. Okay. If you're
Yep.
excited about the walk around, what will they be?
I'll be excited.
Yeah. And if you're knowledgeable in your walk around, does that build confidence with your customer or not?
Yeah, 100% it does.
Yeah. So you need to be exciting, you need to care, and you need to be knowledgeable. Those three ingredients will separate you from the amateurs. Hey, I'm excited about my product. I know about my product, right? Excited, I know, and I actually care. I care about my product. So go ahead.
No, just real quick. I think I need to work on like I'll have the window sticker with me as a fail safe. Usually I try to get that
Yeah.
printed and I try not to give it to the customer because that can go haywire, but they ask a lot too many questions. I honestly let them kind of skip. I'm pretty good when I once we get into the vehicle on kind of my routine and my route, but I let us skip a part where I can add a little more value if I just say no the wheels.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not scared of it, but I'm like, okay, I feel better. Okay, fine, let's get into the car where I have
Yeah.
my routine, and that's
Yeah.
just
And
I'm skipping area.
that's normal for an average salesperson because
Yeah,
that's what you've been trained. So
correct. We
your
never were
dealership,
trained. Yeah, on it.
yeah, your dealership is at fault here, not because they're bad, it's because they're busy, right? And so what you're doing right now, booking a one-on-one, is taking you to the next level because you can't rely on someone else to do it. You have to do it yourself. You book the one-on-one, you're getting the training, and now you can go and either teach people or sandbag the information.
Yeah.
Okay. But to be excited, knowledgeable, and you got to care. So here's a question for you. What is your favorite Ford vehicle right now that's on the lot, not a historic one?
Um, you know, I mean, they're all pretty. It's funny, they're all pretty cool. I just like a Lariat F-150 is pretty sharp, which I don't know if that's what I thought I'd ever say. The
Well, it's a
Broncos
beautiful
are
thing.
good, but yeah, just the higher an XLT F-150 with some of the better options is pretty sweet.
Okay, so let's do F-150 XLT with the what 202A package, something like that. I'm not sure what packages they have anymore, but let's just say
Yeah, that's three. What? Yeah,
or 302 or whatever it is.
302A is one of the better. Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be a good
302,
XLT.
302.
Yeah.
Okay, so what engines are available in an F-150 XLT?
You got the 2 point, you got the 2.7 or the 3.5 liter V6. Um, you have the Power Boost hybrid, and then you have a 5.0 V8, which are kind of few and far between anymore. And then you have what's the Raptor engine, but um,
But in
I
your
think
standard XLT, you'd have four motors.
no, you could either get it in a 2.7 uh, liter V6, you could get it in a 3.5 liter V6, or 3.5 liter V6 power. It's like the hybrid power boost.
Yeah, or the 5.0.
Or the 5.0 V8. Yeah. So four.
Yeah. Okay, so you got four options. Okay, the fact that you knew that is a sign of shining light because
Yeah.
think about when a customer asks, "Hey, what motors are available in the F-150?" and you can say it with confidence. Oh, absolutely, that's a great
Yeah.
question. 2.7 liter EcoBoost, 3.5 liter EcoBoost, 3.5 liter Power Boost, or you get the 5.0 naturally aspirated V8. Which one were you interested in? Or did you have questions about it? That presentation, that little comeback I just did, it is going to build so much confidence in your customer that, oh, I'm with the right guy instantly. Tell me about the
Yeah,
value.
and I think I'm in a place where I know a little more than I thought I did. And I think now I was a pretty skilled freight broker. So I'm in the situations. I'm like, I know what I'm trying to say here. I know where this is going, but I don't have the verbiage.
Yeah.
But I think now I finally am retaining it quickly enough for this to say be beneficial.
Yeah. Well, and repetition is key here, right?
Yeah.
So, but you play hockey or was it's hockey, right?
Yeah, I coach. Yeah, I do hockey and soccer. But yeah, I was
Okay.
playing hockey tonight.
Okay, let's use hockey because if you're playing it, you know it, right? If you
Yeah.
got on the hockey rink court,
Rink. You got it.
okay, you go out go out there and you start doing half court slap shots trying to make the goal, right?
Yeah.
But you never done it before. How good are you going to be at it?
Not very good.
No, you're going to suck. The thing's going to go that way. The puck's going to go that way. Maybe
Yeah.
once in a while you're going to get one in the goal. No one's on the court with you or the rink. It's just you, and you're trying to hit this half court shot. Yeah, you're going to make some here and there. You're going to miss some. But the key here is muscle memory. If you do it 10,000 times from the half court, how many times are you going to miss now?
Not
Very
very
little.
many.
Not
Yeah.
very. Wayne Gretzky from half court is not going to miss too many. So
No.
it's saying it. So like what we just did, you notice how when I asked what motors are on the F-150 and you kind of got through it, but it wasn't that smooth.
Yeah.
You got to do the muscle memory. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. The 2.7 liter EcoBoost, the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, the 5.0 naturally aspirated, or the 3.5 power boost. Which one were you interested in? Or did you have any questions on it? If you just say those things at home, right? You
Yeah.
your mouth literally will start memorizing the way it feels so it flows. How much horsepower does the motor have? Boom, 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 boom. How much torque? Boom, 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 boom. It's not necessarily everything has to be stored up here. Sometimes your mouth just like says it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because
Um,
when you're playing hockey, you don't have to think like the trajectory of the puck. You just slap it because you know
well, yeah,
the feeling.
it's all pattern based at this point. Like I see a puck going off the wall a certain way, I know where I'm already going, right?
And you know where
Um,
it's going.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, so if you have X amount of vehicles on the lot, let's say you have 13 different models. I know Ford has a ton of different models. And you feel like you get pretty much the same questions from each customer. How much horsepower? Does it have Bluetooth? Does it have Apple
Yeah,
CarPlay?
right.
It's not like you'll get a customer that asks the oddball question, what's the engine
Right.
block made of? Oh, it's cast iron. It's a diesel. But if you can just remember, most customers ask these same questions. I need to practice with my mouth and my brain the responses. Then when customers start asking, you're going to have so much confidence in your answer that it builds that confidence, which will bring us into actually number three, which we're not going to get into yet. But for the walk around, you have to be compelling, Matt. You got to be compelling. You have to be a good actor because the best actors get paid the
Yeah,
most.
and I've seen it, and I've sold. I finally have gotten some cars sold where, um, they weren't going to buy a car that day, and it was because like I knew this package on say a Ford Maverick, it had happened to have a power seat on the other side, and we never have that vehicle in that package with power seat. And that happened to me. He was driving to Florida a lot for something with one other person, and so it just hit the spot. And I
Yeah.
forget why I knew that, but I think I knew it just walking the lot. And I'm starting finding little things that are, if we have a long bed.
Yep.
I look at that every morning real quick. That's a standard question I get if people even almost to test me in Southern Indiana here, farm country. So
Yeah. Well, and another thing too is when you walk the lot, that's part of this. You care. You got to care.
yeah,
And when
yeah,
you care, the customers will care about you because you care enough about your job, they care about you. Right? If you go to a restaurant and the waitress loves her job, loves the menu, loves the food, you're gonna love all the same things she loves because she cares. It rubs off.
yeah. I give her a better tip usually too.
Yes. Okay, so walk around for what the customer will actually use the vehicle for. Questions are your friend here. You got to ask questions. What are you going to be using it for? Who's the main driver? How many people are in the family? How many people will be in the vehicle? Is it for business or personal? Do you go off road? Do you go camping? What do you haul? Why do you need 3 rows? Well, I don't have that many kids, but I like to fold them down for my dog. Oh, what kind of
Yeah,
dog
that's
you got?
yep. That's
Oh,
a big one.
I have a Great Dane, or whatever it is. You've got to ask questions because questions are the answer. Questions are what find the root of why a customer wants it. And then when you ask those fun questions, you're doing 2 things. You're learning about your customer, you're building a relationship, and then you can pinpoint what you need to do the walk around for. So you got to ask.
Well, and you also may eliminate one of my topics, which is people trying to go to multiple other cars.
Yeah.
That right there, right? Because I do that with the used cars a lot, and I kind of because I've learned really hard to get myself out of 50, whatever, 15 different cars. But anyway, yeah.
Well, and you got to remember too, customers like to shop. They want to feel like they're shopping. So we can't bash them for wanting to look at different cars.
100%.
But
Yeah.
what we can help with is, what are you going to be using it for? Well, I'm pulling my fifth wheel. Well, then we better not look at F-150s or Rangers,
Right. Right.
right? And if they say, well, I thought the F-150 could pull 12,000 pounds. Well, it can. How much does your trailer weigh? Well, it weighs 11,000. Yeah, but what
Yeah.
happens when you load all your stuff in it? Okay, now you're over capacity.
Yeah.
You need to be
Yeah.
looking at F-250s. I don't want to sell you the wrong truck. Yes, I could
Yeah.
sell you F-150, but
But
see,
you're going to burn your engine. Your engine's going to get
yeah,
beat up quick, and yeah, the questions kind of help them get them out of their own way eventually.
yeah, and then you become a consultant, not an order taker.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now they look at you as someone that knows what the heck they're talking about, can point
Yes.
them in the right direction, and can say things like, "I don't want to sell you the wrong vehicle just to make a sale." And then 2 weeks from now, you're at the U-Haul trying to get your whatever set up, and they're like, "No, you don't have enough capacity." Or
Right.
you go buy your trailer, and they're like, "No, your truck can't pull it." And then you made a $60,000 mistake. You become a consultant that way, and consultants ask questions. Someone wants to buy life insurance. Someone wants to, you know, let's say buy a plot for their when they die. What questions can they ask? What kind of headstone do you want? What kind of this and that? They're always asking questions. So instead of you just talk, doing a walk around, you need to do ask. You
Yeah.
have 2 ears, so you need to do 2 questions for one answer or one
Yeah.
thing. So if you want to know what to talk about on the walk around, just ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask.
That's simple. Yeah.
What are you going to be using it for? Oh, I just work commuting. Oh, okay. So fuel economy is important to you? Absolutely. What about storage? Do you need a vehicle that gets a ton of fuel economy and a ton of storage? Because we have some hybrid escapes, we have some hybrid this and that. Nope, I just need fuel economy. It doesn't matter how big it is. Okay, then we have this vehicle. And now we're
Right.
pinpointing it down by questions.
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing a walk around, Matt, what kind of questions do you ask? Do you have any kind of go to?
Um, I'm starting to ask a lot more just because it usually leads into I look good either way, like because people come from so many bad experiences is what I'm learning. I kind of I'll have you been here? And I really don't do the have you been here for thing. Well, I do, but that's earlier.
Yeah.
I go into what was I gonna say? Yeah, well, yeah, I do use that sometimes. Have you been here before? Or are you coming from another deal? Oh, are you coming from another dealership, or what have you been? What have you been up to today? And then they'll start opening up tons of stories, and they're usually quite terrible. Where some 22-year-old was on his phone the whole time. So it's like right then and there, one that helped me get some confidence. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I got this. I don't really have any. Once I get inside the car, yes, but on the exterior of the vehicle, I don't. I kind of let the customer lead the way.
Yeah. Well,
I'm pretty good
let's
at getting
change that.
questions. I do come up with stuff here. Like I'm good at realizing I need to start asking some questions, but I need to get some more. Because I've noticed I still ask questions that put me in bad places. Like,
Yeah.
is this color okay for you? Let's wait to ask that later when they love a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you box yourself in, and then you can't
Y-
get out
y-
sometimes.
And and I think on the exterior walk, that's why I've probably been timid on having. But I mean, it can't be hard for me to have two or three go-to
Yeah.
questions.
And remember, they don't always have to be about the vehicle. It can be about them. What are they going to be using it
Oh,
for?
yeah, I have been asking a lot. Well, that or I ask where I kind of do more building rapport questions, which I
That's
need to
okay.
get better at.
Remember, the sale, 100% of the sale, 80% is how much they love you, they like the dealership.
Yeah,
20% really is the product knowledge, things like that. So you don't want to bore them with just vehicle questions and vehicle walk around. You want to build a relationship because relationships is what actually sells cars.
yeah,
That's what actually sells cars. It's not the product. It's not the how much information you know. It's you and the people. If you connect
yeah,
to people, they'll buy a black car when they came for a white car. They'll buy a blue car when they came for a red car because they like you. So when you're asking these questions, really listen. What do you use the vehicle for? Do you guys go camping? Do you guys have a bunch of family? Do you take family trips? Where do you go on your family trips? Oh, I've been there
yeah,
before. Oh, I love that camping spot. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've been there before. Yeah, isn't there a restaurant right there? Yeah, they do the pancakes. Yeah. And so now when you're asking those questions, you're not only building a friend, building rapport, but you're finding those little tidbits of what they're going to use the vehicle for. Oh, you do go camping. Okay. Now when you go camping, do you have the whole thing full of not customers, people, or do you have more
yeah,
luggage? You know what I mean? Do you
yeah,
need a roof rack? When we do your deal, we can set you up with the roof rack and a Thule up there, right? Assuming the sale now. Like there's all those things, but
yeah, yeah. And that's big too. That's another top. Like I'm starting to get better at being confident in that part of it. Like
yeah,
when you look at the ID, is this the address where it'll be titled? And anyway, that's
yes,
I could go off on tangents,
yeah. Well, yeah,
but
assuming the sale is a big thing, like you get to register your name or both names. How do you guys normally buy cars? Do you want to write a check this time or do you want me to get it financed for you? Like there's all those little closing things, but you can also do that on the walk around. When you
right.
guys take like when you guys are driving this home tonight, where are you guys going? Do you guys, like just you can ask those different questions. Not only can you assume the sale, makes them laugh sometimes. Oh, you're already trying to sell us the car. Like, no, I'm just,
Yeah,
it,
and you get that, but I need to stop being scared. I'm not scared of it, but like I think it's funny though because you'll avoid a problem earlier. Say the husband and wife. I'm learning that whole game, but the husband will be like, "Oh yeah, we're titling it right. Put it in my name," and she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like because
yeah,
she's had bad experiences, right? But
yeah.
then they'll grow on you, but you learn either way if you ask those questions.
Yeah,
So, so I think I need to do nothing bad comes from it, even if it is that awkward. Well, hold on here.
yeah, yeah. And you can say, no, I'm just playing around. I'm not trying to sell you the car. Let me just show you the
Right,
car. And then you can
right.
do like when you build some rapport, when you build some rapport and you can kind of have some fun, you say, I'm curious to see which one of you has the higher score, which one you guys think. And now you're setting up the credit. Like there's just
Correct.
these little tiny seeds that you plant. They don't even know that you're selling them on running their credit. I'll be like, I bet she has the better credit score. He'll get offended or whatever. I'm just playing. We'll figure that out
Yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah,
But you got to obviously build up to that. You can't just say
yeah,
that, and that comes with getting to know your customer and the people part. But just to get back, so we can close out the walk around,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ask a lot of questions. Questions are your friend. Questions are the answer. Questions will always be your answer. It's a great little statement.
So I
And
have a
then,
quick question there. Sorry,
yeah,
real.
no, go ahead.
I've always thought it's a little corny just because, but we use we use the where do you work question a lot, or which is fine.
Yeah,
Um, I don't like, do you recommend staying away from that? I mean, we kind of need to know, one, it can qualify them for, we know they have a good, solid, they were, whatever it is with just some of the businesses in town that are bigger. Oh, great. I know someone over there. I feel like it's kind of an annoying question for people, but
well, where do you work is an annoying question. What do you do for a living is not,
okay.
right?
That sounds way better.
Yeah, where do you work? Why do you want to know that? It sounds like a credit app.
Yeah, because yeah, yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
if I've asked some questions, I built some rapport, I say, so what do you do for a living?
A little later. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I
Okay.
weld. Oh, shoot, that's awesome. Where do you weld at? Oh, I weld at this company. Oh, same information, but you don't sound like a
You
credit
care,
app.
but you care more.
Yeah, you sound like
Yeah.
you care more too. Where do you work? What do you make? Those questions are credit app questions.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
don't ask those. How long have you been there? Don't ask those questions. Just like we're talking to a buddy.
They usually end up telling you that too later. Oh yeah, I've been there 20 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to tell you everything you need to know if you just ask The right
Yep.
questions build some rapport. So just to recap, walk around for what they use the customer for, the vehicle for. Ask good questions. If you care, they care. If you're excited, they're excited. If you're knowledgeable, it builds confidence. Okay,
Yep.
gotta care. All right. So the next one was mastering our own inventory, knowing process within transit, new to turning around fresh trades, and knowing you already have a customer ready to set and click
Yeah.
their. So it's kind of like a
Uh,
wish list, right?
yeah.
That's why walking the lot is very important.
Every.
When I was a salesman, I walked the lot every day, not just to learn the inventory, but for my own psyche. Like I wanted to know the pulse of the dealership. I wanted to know if stuff got moved around. Um, and in me walking the lot was a way to just get a little exercise, to get out of the lot, get some fresh air. Because I'm not. I always relate to like the coyote. The coyote never stops moving. A wolf never stops walking. They're
Mhm.
always moving. Even in the middle of the night, they're still looking for scraps. So
Yeah.
always they're looking for anything to chomp on. So, like a coyote, for instance, they'll eat a bug. A bug is like a mini deal. It's a $200 voucher, right? And then they come across a big old dead carcass. There's your big old pounder. There's your 5 pounder, your $1,000 voucher, right? But if unless you're moving, you can't find those things. We're not order takers. We're sale makers. So don't think deals just come to you. You got to go out and find them. So walk in the lot a lot of times.
Yeah. And
I
I'm
ran
pretty
into a
good.
customer.
Yeah, you run it. Yeah, you do. I also when when I get my videos up, I try to do them the first week of the month for the whole month. That's just my standard one I do every day, but which I need to get better at. But you run into someone generally
Yeah.
when you're out there. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, and I think
So
I need.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
No,
you're
you
good.
go
Go.
ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think, and this was a topic, this is something if when I do another one-to-one with you, maybe, but I came from an industry where everyone worked really hard. We were competitive with each other in a good way, in like a pit environment, kind of like stock day trading. Um, so I kind of get frustrated and find myself when I'm bouncing around doing a bunch of different things, and then I'll overhear I get frustrated with with
I
people in
see it.
there sometimes. So I
Yeah.
think the good thing for me is to just get outside and walk the lot
Yeah.
and just see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I've gotten pretty good at, those leads that are 190 to 120 days out that are still, I know they haven't bought. All of a sudden oh, there's that car for her.
Yeah.
And those are turning into deals down the road. Maybe it's 1 to 3 a month, but hey,
Hey, it's
it's,
something.
it's by knowing the inventory. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like mastering your own inventory, walk the lot every morning. Walk the lot every day you start because not only do you get a little exercise, get your blood pumping, you run into a customer, you get to know your inventory, but start a wish list. Get a big old legal piece of paper and start a wish list. Uh, Customer John Smith, here's his phone number, looking for a white F-150 for 20 grand used, under 100K, right? And then one day you're walking the lot and you're like, I think I had a customer on that. Go back and look at your wish list. Not every minute of every day you're completely swamped with car deals and fresh customers. That would be a time to take your wish list and walk outside and see if you can find some of these things.
No,
And
and that generally leads to me sending like 5 to 15 text messages out of the gate in the morning, like, "Hey, this came in."
yep, yep. And then even
With
if you don't have the vehicle for that customer that's on the wish list, let's say it's been a week or two, text them anyway and say, "Hey, just so you know, I'm still
Yep,
looking for you. I'm still
yep,
looking for the white F-150." And then what's cool about that is they're going to tell you thank you or don't worry about it, I bought elsewhere. Then you can at least
100%.
scratch it off.
And a lot of times I've noticed it's kept them from going to other, and this is that's
Yes.
kind of like a freight logistics thing. You matching freight loads with trucks, right? I'll keep throwing. I would make up loads that didn't exist because we had so much freight. I knew we'd get one, and I wanted that truck within a week or so, and we'd end up getting one. But they appreciate the effort for
Yes.
sure when you keep doing that.
Yeah, and you can say stuff like, "Hey, I'm still looking for you. Don't give up on me.
Yep,
I want to be your guy. I look every day for you for that white F-150 with 100K or less at 20,000." Then they know I don't have to worry about it. Matt has to worry about it, and I don't
yeah,
have to deal with other salespeople. Matt's my guy. So you don't always have
yeah.
to just get a hold of them when you found it. stay in contact with that list. Um,
Well,
throughout-
we're lucky because just so you know, we have 400 vehicles that so for used I can sell any of over 400 vehicles at our 7 dealerships in the region, and I'm trying to. No one's really promoted that one-stop shop where I think I'm starting to see some traction there with like they could walk across the street, but I believe in myself, so I'm like, no, just let me get it for you.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
you do the legwork
and,
for them.
and more often than not, we have one of those cars show up within a week.
Yep. And when you tell people like, I'll tell customers when they're trying to negotiate hard and things like that or whatever it is. I said, hey,
Yeah.
let me go to work for you. I understand where you want to be. Let me
Okay.
go to work for you now. See if I can get there. So when I say stuff like that, let me go to work for you.
Yeah.
I'm not lowering my status, but I'm lowering myself humble enough to go to work for the customer. I'm here for them. They're here to
Yeah,
buy
and
a car.
you talked about that in one of your podcasts. I need to try to start using that more because the same scenario, I just don't say it that way. Um, yeah, that means a lot to them probably. I would like
Yeah.
to hear that if I was a customer for sure.
Yeah. Or like when I have a customer or when I have a customer that I know is, a manager somewhere or he's the CEO, I'll call him boss. Hey boss, I'm gonna get to work for you. Let me see what I can do.
Hmm.
And they appreciate it. But if you can talk to them at a very confident level and then use that term boss or whatever it is that you're using, but say it very confidently, they won't look down at you. If you're like, if you feel weak and frail, all right, boss, let me see what I can do, then they look down at you. But if you're looking,
Totally.
yeah, if you're looking at them,
Yeah.
shaking them looking them in the eye, shaking their hand and saying, listen, I do what I do here. Let me figure it out. Let me go to work for you. And I'll figure out a way to make this deal. If you can say those things confidently enough, then they look at you eye to eye, not down at you. No matter how much they make, 200,000 a month. I don't make that. They are more successful than me business wise, but I
Hmm.
can still talk to them on their level and get that confidence in them for me. So same thing with you, but just for your subject to mastering your inventory, keep walking the lot, start a wish list, and keep your customers up to date, whether you have it or not. I had a salesman named Jordan that had a wish list, and he would walk the lot and be like, "Oh, I have a customer looking for that," and then he'd go scroll through his Excel spreadsheet, and there he is, and call me. He sold a lot of those people. This guy was
No,
looking for
I've been doing that. I'm pretty decent at it. We have a wish list in our CRM that is built in there. So, but I think it is good to have your own on the side because it's kind of finicky on it working. But if you have your own list, you just when I write it down, I'm going to remember it easier too.
yeah.
But
Now Jordan did his on an Excel spreadsheet because you can hit on Windows Control F and type in the keyword and it'll find that customer that had that vehicle. So
oh, nice.
like
Okay.
control find, control F. So
Yeah.
Jordan would have the customer's name, phone number, and then what he was looking for, red F-150. And so when he hit control F, he would type in red F-150 and it would go right to that person.
Okay.
So he did his on Excel. Sometimes he'd have to
Okay.
scroll, but just kind of an idea that can help. But
Yeah. No, that's good.
any other questions on the mastering inventory?
No, I guess I want to, I'm starting to see the patterns. I think for me, reiterating what you said, maybe get out there twice a day, even for a
Yeah,
full lot walk. Because cars come in, middle of the day, morning, afternoon, or I mean evening. But I guess in transit vehicles, I don't know what dealer, what you're at? Are you Maserati now? Is that?
no, we dropped the franchise because they wanted to go all electric. So we said screw it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where you, yeah, but just
So
starting to see the trends. I didn't have any tricks up your sleeve on like, I'm starting to get better at just new cars coming in. The other day, Megan, this is my coworker who I compete pretty well with, fun with it. I had a customer with an appointment on the car and she didn't know where it was. I'm usually asking her where the vehicles are off the truck. And I actually knew, and she was all fired up with it.
yeah,
But if I didn't
friendly
know,
competition.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, for sure. If you had any, just
So when I worked at the Ford store, There was a specific spot that the new vehicles got dropped off. We call it the PDI lot, and I would check it
Yeah.
every day. I would take the golf cart because it was kind of a little bit. It was like half a block, 2 blocks down the road. And I would just
Yeah.
take our golf cart and go walk or drive through PDI just to see new stuff that came in. I didn't have access to inventory that was in transit. I only knew was what was on the floor.
Okay. I can see I'm one of a couple that can search that.
Yeah.
The
So
season transit, but that gets you off some stuff on the lot too sometimes. But linking customers for our Lincoln stuff, I don't. There you can't really turn them usually.
yeah, just
Anyway,
just being knowledgeable and almost taking
okay,
some of the stuff from the walk-arounds. Like if you care about your inventory, then you're going to know your
yeah,
inventory.
okay.
Right? So,
So just
but
keep doing what I'm doing, only a little. Just stay sharper with it, and
stay sharp. And I mean, Matt, do you plan on working there a long time?
yeah, yeah, definitely. So I'm from here. I should have said this at the beginning, real quick, just so you know about me. As I left 14 years after college. Was in Chicago 7, Denver 7, and then randomly came back here. Never thought I'd be back. My wife's a principal at an elementary school in town, so I'm not
Nice.
going anywhere.
Yeah. So if you plan on being there a long time, if you like the Ford product and you like your dealership,
Hmm.
then this is the time to learn all the ins and out, meet all the
Yeah,
coworkers, say hi to people, know what that guy does at the dealership, right? Oh, you do the body shop. Okay, you do this. Hey, if I ever need this, can I come see you or bring a customer to you? Yeah, absolutely. Like if
yeah,
you learn ins and outs of your dealership, then you're going to be even that much better because you're investing yourself with your coworkers, the dealership, your customers, your inventory, your knowledge with Ford.
hmm,
Like you become a shining star in all these aspects. You have good interpersonal skills. You're on next in line for promotion. I mean, you're wearing the brand, which is a great thing. Not everyone wears the
yeah.
brand, right? So you're invested there. You like the brand. You love the cars. You love the F-150 XLT. Uh, so, do you play any instruments at all?
I do not.
Okay, so let's just take hockey or soccer for this scenario. Like, if you want to be the greatest hockey player in the world, do you not have to know every single thing about hockey?
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to know,
You become addicted to it to a certain degree, right?
yeah,
Like,
obsessed,
yeah, yeah,
and you have to know how to play every single position.
yeah. Well,
You got to be good at being a. I guarantee you, some of the great hockey players were good at being goalies too. Like they probably were good at all positions. And so when you're good at all positions, you understand the game that much better. So at your dealership, if you want to be the best, you need to understand all positions. Go talk to your finance guy. When you're in there waiting for a deal to get approved, watch what he's actually doing. Listen to what he's actually saying to the bank when he's calling. Hey, what do I got to do to get this deal approved? I got 500 down. Do I got to move? Like you learn all these little things from each of
yeah,
your positions.
yeah. And I recently moved. They put me in essentially a seat that most people don't succeed in at the beginning, um, way in the back. And I finally, after a tough month, I moved up front near the desk and where I can hear more of that stuff. And I've learned so much more in the last 2 months. And our guy that's been a top guy for a long time, I'm learning stuff to do and not to do from him because he's old
Yeah,
school.
yeah,
Um, but I've been a fly on. I'm getting in there and I'm becoming addicted to it. I like it. I went to high school with the owner's son who's taken over, and I feel like like you pick up on so much more when you listen to the finance guys with stuff like that, and then
yeah.
the next situation is way easier when you run into that.
Yep. Okay, let's run a scenario by you real quick. Let's say I got hired at your dealership tomorrow, right? My first day is tomorrow, and you're on the sales floor, and I'm getting trained over here, and you're over here. You're like, oh shoot, that's Kyle from the podcast, right? Sales Titans.
Yeah.
Listen, would you in your heart or your gut or whatever it is, be like, man, I need to do better. I want to be a sales. I don't want him to come and see how me that I'm average. I want to do better.
What I already um
Like if let's say I got hired tomorrow, I'm at your dealership and you see
yeah.
Kyle the trainer is there. Would you want to try just a little bit harder?
Yeah, I mean I would already the way I think though, it's like I already probably would think I would be doing that, But yeah, I'd probably up my game,
Yeah,
maybe a couple
because
more. Yeah,
well, but that's good answer actually that you're already kind of doing whatever you can. That's a great
yeah,
answer. But when I was a salesman and I saw someone getting hired and I thought, "Ooh, he's a threat. That guy looks like he can freaking sell."
yeah, yeah.
All of a sudden
Um,
inside of me this like line wakes up and I go crazy on the car lot.
yeah,
Those were my younger days. As I got older, it's just I wanted to do really good anyway. And you know, you're at a part of your age where it's like I want to go to work and sell cars. I don't want to goof around. But
yeah. That
whenever
bothers
I saw
people.
yeah, whenever I saw a potential threat, all of a sudden this like monster came out of me. So when you go to work, I know it's a little subject,
No,
but
no, you're good.
think about like a fresh lion coming into your dealership and trying to take your meat, your food, your sales. And if you can go into work every day with that mentality, because you know when you see those salesmen that aren't doing anything and you're having to take all these ups and you're tired and you're staying late and they leave it on time, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Try to
that's what I need to take a walk.
Yeah, try to battle with yourself like, no, I'm going to destroy. I'm going to look at everyone as a
Right.
threat. I'm going to destroy. And you get that fire in you that you want to annihilate. That becomes, if you can make that your everyday, you'll become a scary salesperson because you don't need like someone to fire you up. It's built in and
Yes,
you
that
can
is true.
take,
That's me. And it's funny they say I'm like kind of too intense sometimes. I'm like whatever. And I think
yeah.
since my son's been born, I had a little lull where someone even said I got kind of soft, but like I'm coming out of that. And I was busy. I was coaching high school soccer, and this will be the first year going that I'm not doing it because this is getting more serious.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm excited for that, and I'm ready to just unleash.
Yeah, that unleash, man. I'm telling you, sales titan mentality where you want
Yeah,
to dominate. And then if you don't have good competition, it sounds like you have a couple people there you could
I
probably
have
battle
to.
with.
Yeah, yeah. I have. There's three of us that are competing. Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. And
The
I dropped a little bit there too. So yeah, but the top half are fun. Then
iron sharpens iron. So it's good to have competition. But when you compete with just your peers, right, you'll always be at that peer level. So
right.
what you want to do, and you got to secretly figure this out, is find out what like your sales managers make, find out what your finance managers make without asking them, you know, figure out, oh, they make 200,000 a year and go to battle with them. I want to make more than my sales manager. You can't make more
And
than a
then
sales manager. Oh, yes, I can.
yeah,
Watch.
yeah. No, and that's kind of coming from being successful with having two assistants in the logistics industry. It's been free starting my career at 41, but I think I'm in the place where what you just said is kind of my mentality. I'm not gonna. Certain people say they want to work alongside with me and practice walkarounds and all that. It doesn't happen every day, but I'm ready to look at what you just said, chase the right people.
Yeah, Jason. When I was a salesman here at the dealership, there was a salesman that beat the sales managers every single year, a year to date. He beat them every year. And I'm like, wow, you can. That's when I first realized you can make more than a sales manager
Right,
as a
right,
salesman. And
right.
he wasn't competing with the guys making 100K. He was competing with the guys making 150, 170, 180, and he was making more. He was going after the top dogs. So if you can find out kind of what your guys make without asking, you know, like what do guys make here
I
at sales?
kind of know. Yeah, I kind of know already. Yeah,
Make that
yeah,
your goal to beat them, and then
yeah,
you watch
yeah,
another lion come out of you, a ferocious creature come out of
yeah.
that, and you'll do incredible things. Okay, moving on. So number three, worksheet and pencil presentation, confidence and control, not hesitating at the right time. Okay, so the lead up to the pencil is more important than the pencil. Okay,
Yeah.
the
Yes, it
lead up,
is.
the lead up. If you're waiting to close the deal at the desk, you're already screwed.
It's already screwed. I listened to your episode about that. Yeah.
Yes, it's the lead up. How much value have you given them? How much confidence do they have in you? How much trust do they have in you? How much of everything do they have in you? Because when you get to the desk and they are just melted in your arms, I melt in Matt's arms. How easy is it now at the desk?
It's getting easier. It's getting easier more
Yeah.
often than not. As it's not like I'm finally 60/40, not like a nightmare every time.
I have sales guys that I work with. Why is every one of your deals a battle? Like,
Yeah,
how do you get every tough customer? And then I
yeah,
realized, oh, it's the lead up to this point. Why is it that that sales
100%.
guy always has laydowns? That guy always has laydowns. You always have tough customers. You can't get a customer to your desk, right? It's like they have the same patterns, the same
Yeah,
freaking. And then I have another guy that's like, it's just they're all different. But why do they get the same customer? Oh, it's because you're converting that customer into that type of customer
right,
with the
right. And
lead up.
it starts with the meet and greet. I think you said in your episode, one of
Yes.
your episodes.
Yes. So if you want the customer to melt in your hands at the desk, you have to do the legwork ahead of time, right? There's a
Hmm.
saying. There's a saying. If you want to chop down a tree, you sharpen for 90% of the time and you cut for 10%.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if you sharpen 10%, you're going to be cutting for 90%.
Yeah, you're gonna cut more. Yeah,
Yeah, you're going to be hacking for 90% of the time. So when you're leading up to
yeah.
that
I've been.
desk, yeah, we've all done that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so if you're leading up to the desk, you have to do 90% of the sharpening before the desk. And then when you get to the desk, you're going to say stuff like, hey, remember we talked about Ford Motor Credit financing? So what I'm going to offer you is a way with all the incentives so you can get the maximum amount of rebates. And then I'm going to also show you a pencil with uh, the special interest rate. So you have one or two, you have an A or B to pick. And so when you come out with these pencils, the way you're talking, the way the lead up is, they're going to look at it like, well, this one, the rate's high. I understand the rate's high, but look at how many rebates you're getting in incentives. That's to counter
Mm.
it because a lot of people want to pay their vehicles off early. So they want the lowest amount of balance up front. So that's what this pencil is. Now, if you plan on carrying the entire loan for all 72 months, then you'd want to go with the one with the lower interest rate with less rebates. Yes, I wish I could do both, but I can't. I have to do A or B. Oh, okay. Well, what do you think, Matt? You know, do you plan on paying it off early? Well, probably not. Then you go with the lower rate because you pay less. If you plan on paying it off early, then let's take all the incentives and do this and this and this. You're the
Yeah.
consultant, and they believe you on the walk around. They believe you on the meet and greet. They believe you in the build and rapport. They believe you on the demonstration drive. Why would it change on the pencil?
No, and I still do. I'm doing in one moving desks has helped me because I'm next to pretty close to to the circle with one of the managers I work with a lot. Um, I don't embarrass myself as often as I used to, but I think in that area, I do okay with having that part of the conversation. It's when actually I'm starting to do. I think it was your podcast. You talked about having it upside down without them seeing the sheet yet.
Yeah,
Was that you?
yeah.
Yeah,
You flip it
that I
over.
think that's a good one for me because it's like okay, I get to talk about it without getting all jammed up in my head. Like let's go over a couple things. I need to start doing that one more, but
Yeah.
I get scrambled when, people, I didn't realize how easy it is for people to get confused by our worksheets. Uh,
Yes.
and I'm not great I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't understand this? And then I'm like already kind of in an awkward spot. I'm like, well, Sean, you want to go through this?
Yes.
And I look like a dumbass.
Well, you do
So,
you have the 9 square grid and then the
yes,
structure?
so you can do 0 down, 2,500 down, five,
Yeah.
and then
So
three terms.
yeah, so what I would do, and your manager may not like it, but you're going to hold more money, more gross, and sell more cars. Is I would tell the customer, listen, this is what I'm supposed to cover with you. I'm supposed to have you pick a grid and do all this stuff, and the dealership does all. Listen, let me turn this over, and then you go over that KG close. It's called the KG close episode.
But
Uh,
yeah,
where you you can go through the line, but immediately turn it over. And if they want to look at the back page again, don't stop them. You say, listen, this is the most confusing part of the whole purchase. All these grids and all this stuff. But
yeah,
where I excel, Mr. Customer, is let me figure out what kind of down payment you have. Let me figure out the max payment that you're willing to do. Okay. And then here are the different terms. If you have really good credit, you can go up to this term. And then let me just figure out the very best rate. and payment we can get you. Oh, okay. Right. Because when you flip that page over, the confusion's gone. What do you want for down?
Yeah, yeah,
What,
yeah,
your down payment and your payment. Those are the two most important things.
yep, yep. And I think in turn, I've gotten better at just like getting, it's funny, like this month, several of my deals, um, we don't even go to the worksheet. We just keep going through the process. We've done the, whatever. And then my finance guy comes in and we didn't, it's like, oh, Randy's here. We didn't even have to
Yeah.
do the worksheet, but I, you still have to go over it, obviously, sometimes,
Yeah.
right? More often
Well,
than not.
I always went over. I never hid it from the customer. I would just, if you had the grid of 9 payments here, I would just go line by line. Here's the vehicle price. Here's the incentives. Here's the tax. Here's a documentation fee. Here's a license fee, and this is your out the door. Now I flip it over and say, now based on a few things, sometimes we can go 60 months, 72 months, and if you have really good credit, maybe a little bit longer. And
Okay.
what I do with my manager, we'll figure out what the best interest rate on. And if you watch that KG close, you'll see the diagram how I drew it out. Um, and then you take that sheet and you put it in
Oh,
your folder.
no, I haven't watched it. I've listened to it. I need to watch it.
Yeah,
Um,
watch it because I think you can watch it on Spotify. I think
okay.
Apple makes you just listen, but if you watch it, I do it
Okay.
2 times, and then you take that sheet, and I've used this on 500 credit scores and 900 credit scores. It
Yeah.
works on both. You take the sheet after you do all that, and you stick it in there, and you say, okay, what exactly eye to eye? What exactly were you thinking about putting down? Money that you're okay with parting with today, not money that you're thinking about getting in a month. What can you do today? I could do 1,000. Okay, then I'm going to work with 1,000. What is the absolute max payment you can do without breaking the bank and taking food out of your kid's mouth? 600. Okay, so 1,000 down, 600 a month. All right, no problem. If it was 610, would that break the bank? No. If it was 590, would you be okay with that? Yeah. So I have a little bit of leeway with you, right, Mr. Customer? Well, yeah, of course. Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure because it's never exactly 600. I just want to make sure we're on the same.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's,
But
yeah.
do you see how I'm talking?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what you need to do, and you'll have people just totally crumble and relinquish all power to the almighty Matt.
No, and I've already seen better results with, it's funny, I find myself mixing in stuff from the podcast here and there, but just, um, I assure you, I'm like, we're going to get you the best interest rate possible. We're not going to, if
Yes.
we can't beat your bank, no big deal. You can go to your bank, but we usually, more often than not, we do beat it, and you guys are going to be happy with that.
Yeah. Right. And if I can get you some incentive money, but my rate's only a quarter point higher, you'll actually spend less money with us with a quarter point
Hmm.
higher than your credit union because now I can throw more money at you. Oh, okay, yeah, do your thing, Matt. So when you come back with a little bit higher
Yeah.
than they anticipated, they know that you're getting a more rebate money. You want no
Yep.
rebates and a little bit higher rate, or no rebates and a lower rate, or a bunch of rebates and a squinch higher rate. Yeah, I want the rebates. All right, then you use Ford Motor Credit. You probably get paid a little bit more on it. The dealership gets paid as a premier lender. Everyone wins, and the customer has a relationship with Ford Motor Credit. So when red carpet
Yep.
leases come out, I mean, you know the drill. You get them
Yeah.
dialed in, and they're more likely to come back to you if they use your financing. Okay, so
Yeah. So I guess where I struggle on this topic just is say okay, we do say I don't, that doesn't all go down that way. It's kind of just the
yeah,
traditional process, but we come back with a oh, here's the worksheet. It was an awkward credit app walkthrough or whatever. And then, they like the car. For some reason, they're just difficult. Either way, yeah, I know where I could make that easier down the road.
yeah,
But the first thing they do is, well, can you do, 1,000 off or this out the door? And I hesitate on, I know the answer is no. It really is because that's one of the things we have below, like right now we're $1,000 under invoice on a lot of our Ford new cars. We have good pricing, and that's one of the things I love about where I'm working now. I believe in the product. Um, but I was good at this on the phone saying no. I'm terrible in person right now on that part of it. So it's
okay. So for that instance, set them up before you come out with the pencil. So the reason why I love working here, Mr. Customer, is because we have a
okay.
one set price. A lot of dealerships, they hope they have $5,000 in profit. We go back and forth a bunch of times, and you get 2,000 off, right? The dealership still makes 1,000 or
Yeah.
whatever it is, but you have to grind. our dealership is already at the best price. I cannot get you a better price than what I'm going to come out with on the first structure,
Okay. So
right?
kind of like I do with used cars, where my our whole our fair market or market based pricing, we're right now top number. Say out of comparable vehicles, we're priced within 500 miles to be one, two, or three. Generally, we are one or two.
Yeah,
Kind of like the
that's
same type of
awesome.
spiel, only for invoiced. What's a better word for invoice? With
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything about invoice or holdback or anything like that because then they don't believe you, and then
100% they don't. Yeah.
you'll confuse them. Well, what's invoice? You don't want to bring up something that you don't need to. If you have an educated buyer that says, "Well, what's your invoice?" to say, "Whatever my invoice is, we're selling it for $1,000 less." That's why I can't
Okay.
give up the number.
Okay. So just believe. Just we're priced great. I mean, or whatever it would be. But
Well, and the key here is to say, "This is why I love working here."
yep.
I use that verbiage so much, and I held so many full pop pencils. This is why I love working here because you don't have to go back and forth and negotiate. We're at the very best price up front.
Well, and on my test drive, I get out of some information that I talk about why I believe in the product here and that too. So you say it a third time or fourth time, boom.
Yeah. And then when you come back after the pencil, now that you've set that up correct, you come back after the pencil and they say, "Hey, I want 1,000 more off." You can say, "Hey, remember that conversation we had? Why I
Yep.
love working here? It's because we give the very best price. This is why we outsell all the Ford dealerships in our areas because of this right here. You don't have to go to battle to get the best price. You literally have it right now. Now, where I can save you money, Mr. Customer, is on interest and payment and all that other good stuff. So let me go a little bit further in my job, get a credit application. Let me see where I can save you that. And
If we don't have one, yeah, I like that.
yeah, and then let me pleasantly surprise you with a good payment, a good interest rate, and then you can tell me yes or no if you want to buy the vehicle. But the pricing is there, and I can confidently say that. That's why I like working here. I don't have to do the
Yep.
back and forth. All right, sounds good. Boom, boom, boom. Moving on. There's a lot of different objections you'll come at the desk. I mean, there's thousands really. I got to talk to my
Right.
wife. It's a long color. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, da. It's too much money. The payment's too high. So, but the key here is if you can lead up correctly and you say the right things beforehand, like closing questions and things like that. Like, are you going to be registering one name or the other? You normally pay cash for a vehicle? Do you normally finance a vehicle? How do you want to pay for this vehicle? You're going to get a lot of those objections out of the way right away. Well, we haven't talked about price. Well, I understand that, but let me tell you why I love working here. You can get those things out. So when you finally do come with the pencil, it's now just a matter of let's get you approved, let's get you a good payment. I'll show you a pencil with all the rebates, better interest rate, with the warranty, without the warranty. You tell me how you want to buy it. We're going to make it work for you. Let me get to work. All right, sounds good. And you did the lead up to it. And then when you have those objections as salespeople, we have to get through them. We have to overcome them. Well, what's stopping you from buying right now, Mr. Customer? I understand you want to go talk to your wife about it, but before you showed up here, what was the conversation like? Oh, okay. So you did talk a little bit. It's just you didn't know all the numbers. Okay.
Right. Right. Or they didn't talk one time and yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So other than you talking to your wife about the payment, is there anything that's stopping you from buying the vehicle? Other than that portion? No, it's not. Okay, let's do this. And some dealerships allow this. Take the vehicle,
We
take
do
the
that.
payment.
Yeah.
Go
Yep.
talk to your wife. I'll see you later today. If you come back and say, I don't want it, no hard feelings. At least we got this far. If you come back and say, my wife approved, then let's wrap this thing up. Can we at least do that?
Mhm.
Yeah, no problem. It's not a big deal. So you find the objection and then you have to find a way around it. Don't let it stop you in your tracks. That's why salespeople screw up at the desk is because there's an objection that stops them in the tracks. Other than the color, is there anything else that would stop you from buying the car? So if this was black, you'd be buying it right now in a heartbeat. Okay, so other than the black, that's the only other thing. Okay, now I can face that objection. What about the black do you not like? Well, it's hot when I get in. Well, that's why we have remote start. Black's the prettiest color. It's void of all colors. It's every color. I don't know. You got to say something. Well,
But if that's yeah.
I mean, you have to find a way around it. I will tell you one thing about a river: it will always find the lowest point of the mountain. Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
So salesmen always have to find a way around the objection. Payment's too high. According to what? Your
And
budget, competition, what you thought?
yeah, my manager, I'm getting better at it not being, we need a deal or trade. And I'll tell them, I go, guys, I'm the one that you want to get if we're going to do a deal or trade we shouldn't be doing, but let's try to figure out how we can get you in one of these that may work.
Yeah. I
Because
mean, I did tons of dealer trades too. There's always that customer that wants that only that car. But
yeah, and
you can
right, and
still try to close them on what you got here. You can
correct. And I
always
think
try.
I am getting better at that, and then in turn, they're not running away as quick. They give us, longer, not just 2 days to go get it. But I have learned too. They're ready to get a car. They're ready to get a car, and it's
Yeah.
tough, even if they're, say, a family friend. They don't give it. They don't care.
I don't care. And how many times that dealer trade guy, while you're waiting for the car to get here, bought somewhere else? Oh, we bought elsewhere. Oh,
Uh,
your
we're
truck got here.
it happens. Yeah.
It happens. It happened to me too. Waiting for that Ford Fusion in Pueblo Gold, and then they finally comes in and they bought a red one in L.A. or Los Angeles. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought you wanted the
Yeah.
gold. Well, it took 3 days. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And you had the gold one there, even maybe, or whatever. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
I had the red one. Yeah, the red one was
Yeah.
right there. I ordered the
Yeah.
gold one that no one wants to buy, and now we have this hideous looking Fusion in stock with tan interior on a gold exterior.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens to all of us. So you're going to have dealer trades in there, but let's put some attempts on to close them here now, and let's flush out the objection, and you'll sell more cars now instead of waiting.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you sell more cars now, you don't have to do the follow up on, do you want to buy now? You're doing follow up of, hey, how are you enjoying your car? Your tasks are fun, not trying to get a customer in. Your tasks are congratulating them.
100%.
All right, number 4, staying on 2 vehicles tops or getting control back quickly once you realize they're people that will buy after looking at 3, 4, or 10 cars, and then they purchase 4 trips later, expediting with the right questions to buy it that day of instead of like looking around. So
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone gets these customers. There's no way around it. You're going to get the engineer that wants to look at every car, that wants to do his research, and that's okay. You're going to get those customers. That's just how the car business works. It's what I was kind of talking about with some of these salespeople that convert their customer into a tough customer. They convert their customer into a looker when they came to buy. So when you have these customers that you detect that are looky-loos, you tell them that's okay. If you're shopping us and you want to look at all these things, more power to you. But I'm going to tell you why our vehicle is the best and why you should buy it today. And when you say those things, you're giving yourself confidence, but you're also setting your customer up to, hey, maybe he will convince us. Maybe he will show us something. And that's where knowing your competition comes in handy. You don't
Yeah.
you don't have to go shop at the Chevy and the Ram dealership for a truck. I'm going to tell you why the F-150 is the number one selling F-Series pickup in the U.S. for 48 years. I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm not bashing those guys. Ram makes a great truck. Chevy makes a great truck. I'm going to tell you why buying the Ford is the smartest decision. Okay, let's talk about it now. Now you need to back up what you said by product knowledge, asking good questions, and doing things like that. So you'll convert customers that say they want to shop into all of a sudden they want to buy. You've already sold those customers. Yeah, we're looking around here, here, and here. 2 hours later, they're driving off in your car. How many times has that happened?
It's happened. I'm starting to see it happen more than it doesn't happen in terms of a year ago.
Yeah, because you're getting better. You're sharpening your
Yeah. Yeah.
skills.
Yeah.
But
Um,
if you know the competition, because you're taking your career seriously and you know the
yeah.
competition, you're going to have less and less and less looky-loos and more buyers because you're so compelling enough in your walk-arounds that they want to buy, and you showed so much value that they want to buy. And they don't want to miss out on this deal because you did a great job. So they have guilt if they leave. You've earned their trust in business, and you've explained why the Ford whatever car or truck is better than the competition's and why they should buy today. But you got to know your competition's product to be able to get these people to buy today. Now, if you have a customer that's a looky-loo and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just spinning my wheels, right? You can
Yep.
start, you ask them closing questions. Well, let's go take a test drive. Would you like to take a test drive? Well, no, I'm just looking today. Okay. Uh, Well, if the numbers were correct on this car and you like the numbers, and you like the way it drove, would you take it home today? Well, no, I'm just looking today. If you start asking customers those kind of questions, you're either going to have them get in their car and leave because you're a salesman trying to make a sale, or
Yeah, yeah.
you're going to get them in the process. But if you just fiddle around with these looky-loos, they'll take half your day up.
Yes, they will. And there's a time and a place when, if it's a slow morning and it's okay, it's a time and a place. Sometimes I've been starting to use them to kind of practice stuff on sometimes, but also be ready to get the heck out of there when that or not be the yeah. I just wasted X amount of time.
Yeah,
You sense it coming, right? Or
yeah,
like you said, they'll get out if you start finally asking, are you going to buy today? Or not that specifically way,
yeah.
but yeah.
Just questions, but ask closing questions. Were you thinking about buying today or tomorrow? Do you have a trade-in? Let's take a look at your trade-in. Hey, while you're here, let's get my manager to appraise your car. When you start pushing the subject, you're going to know pretty quick if they're serious or not without
I,
without
I
asking.
I noticed that the trade can be a good place to flush them out there, or
Yeah,
find out if a lot of times they're thinking, oh no, you won't give me Nirvana. Carvana does have Nirvana. Yeah, you might already have enough for Nirvana. They have them there, and they'll kill you key. They'll be on the time and time issues. Um, I've been good at getting away from that. Like, they'll be surprised. You can give them a number. Okay. Or they're like, oh, that's terrible. I'm like, that's the best I've ever seen on this type of car.
yeah.
Or
But
whatever.
hey,
And let them,
let's say it's terrible and they leave. You got to the point. Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. You still there? Back. Oh, I see it. I see it.
I'm back. I
I
lost
think we're
you.
back.
You said, but hey,
Oh, but hey, at least you got to the point and in the meat of the subject. If they say, "Hey, that's a terrible appraisal," at least you got to that point. Oh, you're breaking up again. Testing, testing. Oh, there you are. There you are. All right, there we go. Can you hear me?
okay. Yep.
Okay, what I was getting at is when you ask those questions and you at least get the appraisal and you say, "Oh, that's too little." At least you got to that point instead of spending two
Yeah.
hours 2 hours talking about just nothing with the guy that is not actually buying. So when you have those looky loos, do your best to sell them a car. But when you start detecting this as a time waster, just start asking closing questions. What would it take for you to buy the car today? Would you like to take a test drive? Let's get your vehicle appraised. Would that be okay? Things like that. And then you're like, well, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Well, you're saying a no to a lot of things. What exactly did you or what exactly did you want to accomplish while you're here? Because you don't want to take
I
a
may
test.
have used that. He uses one a lot when you're in a just an off question if you're kind of in a pickle. We're
Yeah,
trying to. So, because I'll tell you, in that situation, and I advise for doing is it's usually when I'm doing myself. Like, okay, well, here's my card. If you need help, let me know.
yeah,
That's okay. There's a couple of people that walk back and like, okay, I'm ready. But um, I instead of getting an at bat and learning something, I'm just the standard sales strap. Oh, here's my card. Have fun. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing? So she's like, you can not turn them, but like there's potentially more there than you think.
yeah. So remember, ABC, always be closing. If you got these people,
Yeah.
try to close them, man. Try to close them because giving them your card, they're going to pick their teeth with it and throw it out. You got to try
Yep.
to close these people. And if you detect a looky loo, give them your best. And when you detect, oh, this guy's just a jack or whatever it is, try to
Yeah.
get his info, start asking closing questions, and move on. Say, hey, man, I got an appointment coming in a very polite way, of course. But when
Of
you do have,
course. Yeah.
when you do have the people that are buyers, they just want to look around. That's when you put on the selling shoes. That's when you tell them why
Mhm.
ours is the best to buy right now. That's when you dig deep and become a salesman because that's where most
Yep.
average salespeople give up.
Correct. Right.
And the elites say, "Screw it, I'm selling them something." These people are not leaving
And when
without
I'm
buying
in a
a
good
car.
mood, like I'll sometimes at least get them inside somehow. and they go home with a worksheet or of some,
Yeah.
or, which,
Well, and you can
yeah,
get your
waste
manager
a good
involved at
amount.
that point. You can get your manager. Hey, I
Yeah,
have it
100%.
outside. I
Yeah.
got them as far as I can get them. I need help. All right, let's go
Yeah.
talk with them. You never know. Your manager might say the same thing or something a little different, and then all of a sudden you're selling a car to a guy that was to an average salesperson would have gave up on.
Yeah, 100%. And I trust our guys inside, enough to where if I come in there, I'm in a pride and I got it for.
Yep. Well, I think we hit a little over an hour. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, no, I guess. Well, I kind of, what was I did have one for you. What did I write down? Um, no, yeah, no, I'm good. I think I was just gonna say, you know, I'm gonna do one on. I'll have some questions next time.
Well, if you got questions, you can always message me. Otherwise, yeah, if you want to do another one-on-one, I love doing these. It's just nice meeting people. And what's really cool is if you watch these one-on-ones, I've had people that have done one-on-ones meet in person now, and they don't know each
Yeah,
other. They have no idea who they were, only through the podcast. And now they're meeting out in the wild, and they're like, "Wait, I know you from the podcast." So it's
that's
just
awesome.
it's really neat that we have this small community of sales titans that are trying to get to the next level. So just keep doing what you're doing. Book a one-on-one again. I'll be more than happy to do another one-on-one with you. And it's like I said, it's just nice to meet people face to face.
Yeah, no, and I just want to tell you from where I was at in the industry, I was looking for podcasts for a while. It was actually on my to-do list, and I ran across you somehow, and the way you talk, and then just the simplicity of it, like it helps me tremendously. I'm just going through the whole seasons, because I forward it to manager every now and then. He's like, "You told me this, yes." I'm like, "You told me this." He's like, "Yes, exactly." Like the verbiage, and it just helped reiterate to me in a good way outside of work. Um, when I'm calm, like to be able to just go through it. So you've been a
Yeah.
great help, and it's been great meeting you. Sorry about my Facebook essays. I get a little crazy
Nah,
in
man, you're
complete
good, man.
sentences.
Message me anytime, my
But
friend. And I appreciate you booking the
okay,
one-on-one.
sounds good.
All right, Matt. Have a good night, sir.
All right, see you, Kyle. Bye.